Welcome to the Game of Life podcast. Today's topic is pretty privilege. And I may also be talking about wigs and stuff. Okay, so let's start with pretty privilege and how Lookmaxxing and pretty privilege can help you tremendously in this life. This is the unfortunate truth. It's sad, but true. People judge the book by its cover. People are very surface level, most people are very surface level. They're very shallow, very, vain, very, what's the word? I'm having a brain fog again. There's a perfect word for how people are. Vain, surface level. I hate when this happens. If you know the words, comment below. But people, they judge you and treat you accordingly. And trust me, I've been on the both ends of the spectrum. I've been extremely non-conventionally ugly. Is that a word? Non-conventionally ugly? Wait. Non-conventionally pretty / ugly. Of course, I could be pretty in my own way, growing up, whatever. Actually, if I put the pictures here, it would help you better understand it, because people don't believe me. It's like, oh, you don't understand it. You don't get it. You're pretty. Okay, I figured out Lookmaxxing and I use technology to the fullest. Not saying I got any work done, because I'm also not against that. If you need to get work done, go for it. It's nose job, anything that helps, But me, I was deadly afraid of it coming out worse than my natural self. If I get a nose job, it being worse than it was and looking like Michael Jackson and stuff. Because you can't take it back. That was so scary for me. I was like, you know what? I'd rather be experiment with wigs or, makeup styles or other things. I do all other Lookmaxxing to the max before I did plastic surgery. And if I still feel like I need plastic surgery, then I'll get plastic surgery. And thankfully, I was fulfilled with my life and I didn't need to get any extra work. If I got work done, I'm not saying it wouldn't benefit me if I got work done, because it probably would. If I Lookmaxxed, what is it called? Hard Lookmaxxing. There's a soft Lookmaxxing and there's a hard Lookmaxxing. Hard Lookmaxxing involves surgery and plastic surgery. So I only did the soft side, but I'm pretty sure if I did the hard side, I would even look better. That's a fact. I was just satisfied with the results that I was getting, and I'm more on the creative side. I'm more work-oriented, mastery-oriented type of person than looks. But that's not the point. The point of this video is how Lookmaxxing and pretty privilege or privilege stacking, skinny privilege, all that. These terms are very popular right now, and there's a reason why they're popular. It's the truth. And as a person who's been Lookmaxxing since 13, yeah, that's when I started, because I was so sick of being ugly. I was just starting high school, 14, 15, I would say. And that's when I first got, I was wearing glasses, and I was like, okay, I'm not wearing that anymore. I got contacts, and that's how my Lookmaxxing started, kind of. And I can prove that with pictures, how much of a evolution it has been. And let me tell you, I've been obsessed with Lookmaxxing 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago. And now seeing it trending is amazing. I love that. Everybody should Lookmaxx to the max. Start today and Lookmaxx, okay? Because it's gonna help you in any area of your life. You're gonna get treated better anywhere you go, especially if you're neurodivergent. You kind of have to Lookmaxx, otherwise this world is way too cruel, okay? Lookmaxxing is almost like a protective shield against what the neurodivergents go through in life. So you can't go wrong with Lookmaxxing. I tell everybody to Lookmaxx. It's if you're a couple of pounds heavier, you have to lose weight. You have to lose weight. You have to be skinny. Stop spending so much money on clothing. That's not even going to look good because you have that extra weight on. If you're fit and skinny, this is kind of not politically correct. I know it's all about body positivity now, accept this, but I think that's bullshit. That's not how the game of life works. It's not. It's just not. On social media, they can tell you that, oh, love yourself, accept yourself the way you are. But as soon as you go out in the real world, you're going to get rejected. And that sucks. Rejection sucks. When you get rejected for the things that you want and you know that you have the potential to acquire, but you get rejected for things like extra weight or extra this, that like wearing like just not being fully presentable, it fucking stings. It hurts. So that's why a big portion of this channel is about lookmaxing your avatar, the game of life. This channel / this podcast is all about maximizing your potential, or at least reaching to your potential. Like whatever potential you have, at least manifesting this potential and optimizing your avatar, your looks, and programming your mind, your brain. So it's like mind, body, spirit. It all works together. That's why it's very important for you to be fit. That's why it's very important for you to have the right mindset. Because let me tell you, you could be the prettiest girl in the world, and still, if you have the bad mindset, you're still gonna get played. You're not gonna get the results that you want. So everything goes hand in hand. You can't just have a great mind and you're losing because you're not look maxing, or you're not optimizing your avatar, your look to go with the inside. So the transformation happens very holistically in mind, body, spirit, period. So this channel is all about that, mind, body, and spirit. That's why I have a lot of spiritual content. That's why I have a lot of looks, like beauty type of content. And that's why I have a lot of how to reprogram your mind and brain type of content. Anyways, lookmaxing. So like I'm naturally an experimenter. I experiment a lot. Like that's what I live for. I'm like a mad scientist. I know I said it so many times, but I live to experiment. Okay, I experiment with different hair colors, different wigs, different styles, and I find that people treat you the best when you dress smart / business casual. So when I wear blazers and heels and when I look like I'm a working professional, that's when people respect me the most. I like that. I need that because when you dress in a certain way, you may be too triggering for some people. And I know you should never like dim your light for other people and all that. I'm very aware of that philosophy. But when it comes to real life, where people are very cruel on a daily basis and they're just looking for a punching bag, it's very important that you protect yourself. And that's what lookmaxing is about. That's what playing the game of life is about. Presenting yourself in a way that's going to get you the results that you want. So my favorite aesthetic, like clothing wise, is almost like 2000s Barbie chick. Okay, I like pink. I like really like girly stuff. But when I go out in public like that, I get treated terribly, especially from the females. Like females hate you. They the world that we live in right now, it hates hyper femininity, hates it, and it rewards masculinity and masculine aspects in females. I mean, it's different for males. For males, the world hates masculinity and it rewards feminine features and characteristics, feminine behavior. The world rewards. So it also depends on your gender. In order to get the results that you want, you got to be analytical. And me being analytical is trying not to trigger other females as much as I can by maybe not being hyper feminine. Okay, so that's one thing. It's all about finding that balance. Like, like that Buddha quote, I think. What does it say? What is poison? Poison is anything that you don't need or beyond your needs. Like anything excessive, that's poison. So it's all about finding the balance. That's another thing that we can say about the game of life. It's the game of finding balance, like in everything. Loving too much sucks. Not loving at all, not feeling love at all, being completely transactional and materialistic also sucks. So you got to be in the middle. Being too emotional sucks. Not having any emotion, being psychopathic, it also sucks. So you got to be in the middle, balancing both sides, logical and emotional, and finding that perfect balance. It's like we're all little scientists and trying to find the perfect balance for things, like perfect right in the middle, like right there. So that's with everything, the human relationships. Okay, I'm still recording, thank God. I hate when I have such a great episode and it's not recording. Like, I'm coming to find out that it's not recording. I hope this is recording too. Let's see if this is recording. Yes, okay. So yeah, that's why you gotta be smart, okay? You gotta play the game and you gotta play it right. You gotta learn the rules and play it better than anybody else, okay? If you want to win the game of life. So the rules are, there are some certain privilege, like pretty privilege, skinny privilege, other privileges that I don't even want to get into, but you already know. And I also think there's this thing called female privilege. I think being a female is awesome. Like, I think life is much easier for a female. It's controversial, but that's my belief. Being a female is awesome. Like, females, like, if you play the game right, you don't even ever have to work. So when I go out and see pregnant females that are working, I don't look at that as like, oh, what a strong female. Females, to me, does not have to be strong. We want to be soft. We want to live that, like, beach, Miami, like beach resort vacation type of lifestyle. That's what I envision when I think of female. I don't envision a person who works and pursues a career while being pregnant, while having children at home, like trying to do all these things at once. That kind of, to me, goes against the female nature. I think we're meant to just relax, or like pick one or two things at least, you know what I mean? And pursue like what we truly want. So, and I'm telling that from experience, guys. Like, I've been hustling so long. I've been hustling and pursuing that girl boss thing for so long and made so much money. But then I realized I'm just going against my nature. And what I enjoy the most is like doing nothing, just waking up every day and going to the beach, come home and like just, having my time for myself and having the freedom to pursue whatever I want. And in my case, it's my music, it's this podcast now, so that's why it's very, so that was an awakening for me, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. And being a female is amazing. And if you play it right, if you do the right things, if you, figure out the game and play it better than anybody else, life as a female is awesome. Anyways, so female privilege, I believe that. Some people would argue there's also male privilege, and there is. In some situation, there's absolutely male privilege, like you're more privileged as a male in some rooms or some situations. All right, let me focus on the pretty privilege, because I experienced the both ends of the spectrum. I've been really ugly. Like, no guy ever wanted to date me. Oops, my light. All right, let me check this. Let's do a part 2. So yeah, maybe I can talk about how I've been on the both ends of the spectrum as far as the pretty privilege. I experienced it all. I'm an experimenter. I experimented with different hair colors, different hairstyles, and I did some studies. I really did. So, the first thing that I found is people are absolutely nicer to you when you have blonde hair. I don't know what it's about. Maybe it's that programming with the Hollywood, like Marilyn Monroe. It's just, you're gonna see that trend, and you're gonna see that pattern that whenever somebody becomes famous, they go blonder and blonder and blonder, and then they just look more glamorous. They're just more widely accepted. Okay. So even Mariah Carey has a quote about that. She was like, the more famous I've gotten, the blonder I go, something like that. Shakira, same thing. Like, she was already huge in her home country, and she had jet black hair, beautiful, and she's so beautiful with that hair. Like, she looks the best. And then she did red hair like this, and then as soon as she did her American debut, she goes blonde. It's even more if you're a foreigner like me. Being blonde makes you more accepted, I guess. Just makes you blend in more. Makes you less of a threat. Yeah, I figured it out. Swear to God, like, I don't know, it's very subconscious behavior, very subconscious. People hit on you more, which I don't appreciate, but I guess they think they can because you're just a fun blonde, you know. But anytime somebody wants to Lookmaxx, the first thing I tell them, go blonde. Your life's gonna change. Like, go blonde and thank me later. If it's the attention that you want, you're gonna get it much more when you're blonde. If you're an artist, you're trying to get bookings, you're gonna get more bookings when you're blonde. If you're like anything, like the amount of job interviews that I did, like, see, I'm a true scientist. Like, I go to job interviews in different wigs and and then document my results, you know what I mean? And I did the best jobs I've gotten, like the jobs, not even jobs, they're like so fun. One is working at a Los Angeles music studio, the another one is working as a dance instructor. So like fun jobs like that, I've got it in my blonde wigs, and it's never been like, okay, we'll call you. It's never been that. It's always like, okay, you got the job, can you start tomorrow? I'm like, okay. Like when I go to interviews with blonde hair, I don't even get interviewed. That's the thing. Like they're just okay, you're hired. And the life seems much harder on me when I have my natural hair like that, just much harder. But I wanted to do this podcast in my natural hair so you guys can like, I don't know, like I want to form an authentic connection and like just be appreciated for my real self, kind of. But it's very easy for me to take off these glasses, put on a makeup, and like just transform myself. I can go from like 6 to 9. I can. I have that potential. You know what I mean? So that's why look maxing is very important. Very, very important. Okay. And sometimes I feel like a drag queen. I am a drag queen. I really am. It's that type of transformation. And if it's done right, you're going to benefit from it intensely. Like, just look at all the famous figures that done it. It's not my idea. I wish I would be accepted and widely celebrated as much as I had blonde hair when I had black hair. But there's just this thing, you know what I mean? So the number one huge look maxing thing other than weight loss. I'm sorry, the number one is weight loss, like period, weight loss. You gotta lose that weight, girl. Like you have to lose that weight. That's just the way it is. You can't like you can be a 10 and if you're overweight, doesn't mean anything. And somebody gotta, tough love. Somebody gotta tell you that. So number one is weight loss, and number two is go blonde. Lose that weight, go blonde, wear a little black dress, mini black dress with heels, like classy. You gotta keep it classy, okay? It has to be classy. So little black dress with heels, beautiful blonde hair, and red lips. That's deadly, okay? That combination can maximize like anybody, literally. Even if you don't have blonde hair, you could like red lips, mini dress with heels. But the number one feature is your body, your fit, beautiful body, okay? Those beautiful legs and beautiful frame. That's why weight loss is the number one look maxing thing. Like you have to lose weight. You just have to. That should be anybody who's dealing with weight problems, that should be your number one priority. And there was times that I was much more overweight. My highest weight was 60 kilograms, which comes up to what? 60 times. My highest pounds was like 145. 145. And I'm very short. I'm like, what, 5'4"? So that looked really big on me. And not only I'm short, I think I have like thick bones. I'm very built and with muscular body. So when I had that weight on top of that muscle, I felt disgusting. I looked horrendous. So, and I spent like 2 years trying to lose it and I couldn't because I was dealing with heavy binge eating. I was emotional eating, and that's one of the challenges that I overcame, that I'm going to talk a lot about in this channel because I experienced it and I overcame it. Like I was a food addict, emotionally eating, and it took me 2 years to figure out how to get over it. And it's just reprogramming your mind, with discipline, with relentlessly reprogramming your mind. So wait, let me see if this is still recording. So yeah, I would also had other bad habits that I'm going to talk a lot about in this channel. Like I was living in Los Angeles and I was smoking a lot. So you know how it goes with smoking, you get munchies. And like I would live near this international market, my favorite, John's, J-O-N's. Not Wons, John's, J-O-N. And I think it's an Armenian market, so it had all the junk food that I loved from like Eastern Europe or that part of the world. Like all the chocolates, everything that I loved, they had it. So I would just get munchies and I would take an Uber there, even though it was like walking distance. I would just look forward to, I was also going to school, and I would just look forward to come home from school just so I can smoke and munchies. And those munchies would be sometimes like 3,000 calories, you know? It was, yeah, it was intense. I remember I would eat to a point where I wouldn't be able to feel my stomach. Like, no, not that I wouldn't be able to feel my stomach. Like, it would feel so painful. It would feel like it's gonna explode and crack. That's how terrible it felt. That lasted for 2 years. I felt my work, like I could not take pictures. I couldn't take pictures. And because my ideal weight is like 110, okay? So I was like 30, 40 pounds heavier than my ideal weight. So like to put it in a perspective, to tell you guys, like 30, 40 pounds heavier, that was big. And you don't lose like 40 pounds so fast. It takes a quite a while. So but I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with being skinny. I was like, okay, I have to find a way. I would join forums and read all those posts. I would try to um replace the things that I like with like 0-calorie options. I would try to fast and just only drink Diet Coke when I'm hungry. Um, that made me lose like 10, 15 pounds, but I was still like chubby, my chubby self. And that's when I knew I had to make a lifestyle change. Like I had to just become a new person that works out, eats clean, and doesn't binge anymore. It's no binge eating. Just a person that even like I could still continue smoking maybe, which I did. I continued even after that. Even when I was at my skinniest, I was still smoking. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna start to work out. I'm gonna push myself. And I started working out, and I worked out for like a whole year, but still like I was losing like 2 pounds a month. Like I just did not like it. I was like, and I realized it was also very mental because I was at my lowest point emotionally. So it made sense that I would hold on to all this weight. So I was like, okay, this have to be a transformation, mind, body, spirit, like holistic transformation has to happen. And, but the reason I achieved it later on was because I was obsessed with finding a solution. I was like, okay, like I don't want to be chubby, like I want to be model skinny, like how I was before. Because this is how I was. I always loved my body so much. I loved my waist, I loved my butt, I loved my small tits. Like I just loved my body. I always like in front of a mirror, I loved it. And then gaining so much weight and then hating my body was so terrible on me. I just wanted to feel good about myself again. And that obsession actually was because of that obsession, I found solution. And the solution, like I was so obsessed with getting my body back, and I started going to gym. And then when you do something uh um when you do something so many days in a row, um that turns into a habit. Especially for me, if you have an addictive personality like me, um or neurodivergent, ADHD, whatever, if you have those things, it's much easier for you to be addicted or to form a habit. It's much easier for you. Like, I remember there was one time I would order pizza from my favorite pizza shop in LA, Berries. I don't know if they're still there, but oh my God, those people make the best pizza in the world. Oh, I love their goat cheese. Was it goat cheese truffle? I don't know. I don't remember, but I remember the taste. It was so good. So there was one point that I would order Berries like 6 days in a row. Same pizza. I would order the same pizza every single day. That's how addictive my personality is. Like, how can you be addicted to pizza, right? I was addicted to a certain pizza and I would eat it every day. And then boom, the next hyperfixation, right? Because that's what it is, hyperfixation. So look at everything as a hyperfixation. Your binge eating is hyperfixation. Your obsession with that guy is a hyperfixation. Everything is hyperfixation. And you have to take control to change that hyperfixation with a new hyperfixation that is much healthier and much better for you. So my new hyperfixation was going to gym and like going for fucking 5 hours a day. Yeah. I really wouldn't call this podcast I'm a mess. But then again, like I live a good life. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not being afraid to be messy and make mistakes on purpose and learn from them, do science experiments, learn psychology, blah, 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 through me. You know what I mean? Experiments through me. But I mean, like after all these years, I'm very satisfied with the results that I get. Like, I'm absolutely living a life that I would want to live as a child, or right now I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't. That's how satisfied I am with my life right now. Like you can offer me a record deal, $1 million record deal, or like that fame lifestyle, but fame is just another job. And I'm at a point in my life where I have that so much freedom to do whatever I want, and I only do things that makes me happy, like going to the beach every day and stuff like that. So I'm a mess, but a good mess, I guess. So yeah, the hyperfixation and Lookmaxxing. I jumped. Oh my God, these are gonna be like so long. This is like ADHD in action, like LEHD. That's my nickname at home, LEHD in action, literally. Um, so okay, so yeah, hyperfixation, because that's all about it, right? Hyperfixation, the habits, when you repetition, like it's all about repetition. Repetition equals habits, okay? The more you do it, the stronger of a habit it becomes. And there's another quote that I love. The chains of habit is way too weak until the chains of habit is the chains of habit is way too change of the chains of habit is too weak to be felt until they're too strong to break. I hope this makes sense, but I'm gonna find it when I'm editing this video and put it here. So that's how I view everything. Everything is a result of a habit. Every action, it goes like that. Every thought creates an action, right? Or every thought creates words, speech, and then that ideas. It creates ideas. It creates beliefs. Oh yeah. Every thought creates a belief. Every belief creates an action, and every action creates a habit when it's done long enough. So I was doing binge eating for a long time, and I was like, okay, I have to change this, you know. It was and when you're 1 to 2 years in, you're already so deep in the mess to change it. It's much harder to break the chains. um so but something happened. I think I moved to a different apartment complex with a beautiful gym and pool. So I was excited about that. I was like, you know what? New life, new me. I move a lot, by the way. Whatever shit happens, I move. I move like every 6 months to a year. I move. So I'm not recommending it, because no matter where you move, you bring yourself with you. It makes no difference whatsoever. But it's kind of, I don't know, it gives me that dopamine boost, the excitement, especially when you have a brain that struggles with that dopamine regulation. Moving lets me break these not the patterns, but the regular default flow. It lets me break the flow. It disrupts the current, kind of. So yeah, I quit binge eating and I became addicted to working out. I would spend 4 or 5 hours at the gym, audiobooks in my brain, in my mind, just listening like audiobooks all day at the cycling, doing Pilates, walking, just doing all that. And like with and on top of that, I was living on 24th floor. As soon as I'm done at the gym, I would just climb the stairs to 24th floor and then just went back. Like when I just run 24 floors all the way up, which even boosted the calorie burn even more. So within a couple months, I went down to like 100 pounds, because when you work out to that level, you crave no junk food. At least for me, all my cravings went away, and I started not even craving food. All my hunger went away. I was just eating one salad a day because I just wasn't. And by the way, other than my binge eating problem, I've always been a veggie lover. Like I always loved salads and stuff. Greens, like people eat chips for snack. I eat cucumbers or like lettuce as snacks. I always loved that. Um, so I just went back to my default, which was just loving, which was very clean eating, just veggies and salad, olive oil, lemon, stuff like that. Broccoli, I love broccoli. Broccoli, garlic with lemon, olive oil, my favorite thing in the world. Just avocado, broccoli salad, stuff like that. So I was consuming very little calories, although they were very filling for me. I had a lot of energy. Like I would just go out for a walk down the Wilshire for like 2 hours, all the way down to the pier, Santa Monica Pier. If you guys know, you know, like I would go down for a walk. Like I had so much energy just walking, doing things, Every episode is so fucking long. Like every episode is so long. I just rambled. Queen of yappers. Queen of yappers. No, my yapping has a purpose, okay? My purpose is to share my experiences with you and connect with those who are going through similar things, and we learn from each other's mistakes, because I love YouTube. I'm addicted to YouTube. I watch YouTube all the time. Like it's my favorite. It's my number one favorite social media. Like I can quit anything, but I cannot quit YouTube. That's like, I love you. I love YouTube. I love the creators on YouTube. So I learned so much from YouTube. Most things that I know, I learned it from YouTube, whether it's through audiobooks or podcasts, or people sharing their own experiences. So I'm in love with YouTube. Anyways, so yeah, I had the maximum energy. I was doing great, but a lot of people thought that I was like anorexic. Here, I'll put some pictures here. But I was just fit, you know what I mean? And I wasn't uh I know how anorexia works. It's like a constant state of just restricting yourself. It's restriction, restriction, restriction. Constantly think about food and worrying about food, constantly counting calories. Me, I wasn't counting calories. I wasn't worried about food. I was just I naturally have an athletic body, athletic build. So when I go to gym for fucking 4 or 5 hours a day, I mean that's a sickness in and of itself anyway. So let's not even start with that. But when I was working out for 5 hours a day, no matter what I ate, I just burnt it and I just started losing weight so much, like so much weight. But I loved the way I look. I was like, oh my God, I'm looking the best. So yeah, that was like 100 pounds. I was like 100, 105, something like that. 45 kilograms. I think that's my ideal weight, kind of. I like that skinny, lean look. I didn't think it looked unhealthy. Here are the pictures, you tell me. Right now, I'm 50 kilograms and 120 pounds, something like that. I fluctuate a lot. That's the thing about me, like my weight fluctuates a lot. Right now, I just eat whatever I want. Like yesterday night, I ate 2 burgers. I don't know why. I just had the craving, and like not even one. I ate 2. But on default, I eat very clean. Okay. So what were we talking about? Oh, Lookmaxxing, and the number one rule for Lookmaxxing is weight loss for females. For males, that would be bodybuilding, maybe like get you know bulky and cut or whatever or both. For females, weight loss. Anything looks good on skinny. Okay. Just facts. Anything looks good on skinny. Most of my clothing, I mean, granted, I'm wearing a just regular t-shirt right now, but when I go out and when I dress myself up, most of my clothing is very cheap. They're either thrifted or vintage. Sometimes, like Shein and stuff. I can wear anything I want without worrying about the brand or anything because it looks good. When you're skinny, when you're fit, anything looks good. You are the outfit. When you're skinny, when you're fit, you are the outfit. You don't have to worry about the outfit. Or when you're overweight, you can spend $10,000 on an outfit and it's not gonna look good. People are not gonna look at you because you're not aesthetically pleasing. We have this innate like like we subconsciously know what's aesthetically pleasing and what's not. And aesthetically pleasing things to look at actually makes us release dopamine. That's why males look at pretty women, because it makes them release dopamine. That's what it comes down to. Like everything comes down to your brain chemistry. So if you're not optimizing your avatar to look most aesthetically pleasing, um, the game of life may be a little harder for you. So we're all trying to, find the least resistance, right? The least resistance type of path, and just being and that's why we have to optimize our looks and our mind and our beliefs and everything. Mind, body, spirit, it all goes together. So look maxing is very much there are levels to it. Yeah, you can physically look max, but even if you're the prettiest girl on earth, if your mindset is not right, you're gonna get played. You're not gonna get the um results that you want. There's so many pretty pick-me's out there, so many, and it hurts me to see. I'm like, girl, like you should be getting queen treatment. Like, girl, like you should be getting a better treatment. Like you're conventionally attractive. You should be, there's no reason why you're not living the life that you want to live. But there is a reason why, and the reason is your mindset. So that's why this channel is about look maxing, mindset maxing, spirit maxing, everything about it. But that's pretty much all I have to say about pretty privilege. It's very much exists, and we'll do a better deep dive. There are amazing channels. We'll do a better deep dive in the upcoming videos, and how I use wigs, or I recommend wigs for those who struggle with hair loss. You don't gotta worry. No reason for you to be sad and worried. Wigs are amazing. They look like your natural hair. Go check out my custom made wigs, and check the reviews and see how it can transform people, And so yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say about pretty privilege. We'll talk more about it if I get more ideas. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.